The Beekeeper 2, Jason Statham, 2025. When a deadly global conspiracy threatens to collapse governments, former operative Adam Clay, Jason Statham, is forced out of hiding. As he uncovers a sinister network known as Black Lotus, he realizes the corruption goes deeper than he ever imagined. With a new ally, Mara, and a race against time, Clay must fight elite assassins, expose high-ranking traitors, and deliver brutal justice before the world falls into chaos. The hive is broken, and the Beekeeper is back. The night was heavy with tension as Adam Clay moved through the silent corridors of an abandoned factory on the outskirts of Prague. His footsteps were barely audible against the concrete, his breathing controlled, measured. The faint glow of flickering bulbs overhead cast long shadows against the rusted steel walls. He had been out of the game for too long, but tonight, that changed. His target was the Black Lotus, a covert syndicate infiltrating the highest levels of government. Their operatives had wiped out entire intelligence agencies, erased digital trails, and silenced anyone who dared to question their motives. Now they had their sights set on something bigger. Adam didn't know the full scale of their plan yet, but he knew one thing for certain: if they weren't stopped, the world as he knew it would burn. He pressed his back against the wall, his Glock raised, eyes scanning the catwalk above. 3 guards patrolled the upper level, their movements synchronized. The efficiency told him everything. These weren't ordinary thugs. They were ex-military, trained killers. He exhaled slowly, calculating his next move. The faint click of a safety being switched off made him freeze. He spun around just as a figure emerged from the shadows, a woman, weapon drawn. "Mara." His voice was calm, but his grip on the Glock remained firm. "Still quick, old man," she smirked, lowering her pistol. "You're lucky I didn't shoot." He didn't respond. He hadn't seen Mara in years. She had been part of an elite unit of beekeepers until they were betrayed, their operations dismantled. She was one of the few who had survived. If she was here, it meant this was bigger than he'd feared. "They know you're coming," she continued, keeping her voice low. "They set this place up as bait. You should have never come alone." Adam allowed himself a small smirk. "Didn't think I was." A split second later, the lights cut out, plunging the factory into darkness. Red emergency lights flickered as chaos erupted. Gunfire, shouting, boots pounding against steel. The ambush had begun. Adam moved first, grabbing Mara and pulling her behind cover as bullets ricocheted off the metal walls. The guards on the upper catwalk had opened fire, their laser sights sweeping across the space. Adam reached for a flashbang, pulled the pin, and tossed it toward the catwalk. A deafening boom followed, white light flooding the room as the guards cried out, momentarily blinded. "Go," he ordered Mara, and she didn't hesitate. She sprinted forward, weaving between crates and machinery, her suppressed pistol taking down 2 of the guards before they could recover. Adam followed, moving with the precision of a man who had spent his life perfecting the art of combat. One by one, the enemies fell, but Adam knew this was just the beginning. The real threat wasn't here. It was the man pulling the strings. Nathaniel Drake. The name had surfaced in whispers, always connected to power plays and political coups. He wasn't just a crime lord. He was a strategist, someone who saw war as a business. And now he had his hands on something far more dangerous than money or influence: biometric security codes that could override global defense systems. Adam and Mara made their way through the maze of corridors, following the map she had memorized. Their objective was clear: retrieve the encrypted drive hidden within the facility and expose Black Lotus before it was too late. They reached the server room. Adam took position near the door while Mara worked the panel. 3 minutes, she muttered. "We don't have 3 minutes," Adam replied. As if on cue, a deep voice echoed through the speakers. "Mr. Clay." Adam's jaw clenched. He knew that voice. Nathaniel Drake's face appeared on the screen, a cold smirk playing on his lips. He was seated in an opulent office, fingers steepled under his chin. "I was hoping we'd finally meet in person," Drake continued, "but I suppose this'll have to do." Adam kept his expression neutral. "You should have killed me when you had the chance." Drake chuckled. "If I wanted you dead, you'd be dead." His smile faded. "But you keep interfering in matters far beyond your understanding. That's a problem." Adam wasn't interested in games. "Tell me what Black Lotus wants." Drake sighed, feigning disappointment. "You still think you're the good guy, don't you? The beekeepers were a dying breed long before I stepped in. You were relics of an old world, operating under the illusion that justice mattered. Adam's patience was wearing thin. He glanced at Mara, who was nearly done with the download. Drake leaned forward. The world isn't run by laws anymore. It's run by leverage. And right now, I have more than you. The power shut off. The monitors went dark. Adam swore under his breath. They bolted just as the explosion hit. The blast ripped through the building, sending them flying through the air. Adam hit the ground hard, his ears ringing. Smoke and fire consumed the space, alarms blaring. Marikoff struggling to her feet. Did you? Adam held up the hard drive. Got it. But before they could take another step, the doors to the factory burst open. Armed operatives poured in, their rifles locked onto them. And at the center of it all, walking in with calculated precision, was the enforcer. A towering figure in black combat gear, his face hidden behind a mask. His reputation alone was enough to send fear through intelligence agencies. He had never failed a mission, and now he was here to eliminate Adam Clay. Adam exchanged a glance with Mara. No words were needed. They had one chance to make it out alive. The enforcer raised his weapon. Adam moved first. The gunfire was deafening. Adam weaved through the chaos, his movements precise, deadly. He took down two operatives with clean shots before diving behind cover. Mara provided suppression fire, keeping them pinned as Adam reloaded. The enforcer advanced. Adam launched, meeting him head-on. Their fists collided, the impact sending shockwaves through Adam's body. The enforcer was fast, too fast. Every strike Adam threw was blocked, countered with brutal efficiency. The fight was relentless. Adam barely dodged a blade aimed for his throat, twisting at the last second and delivering a sharp elbow to the enforcer's ribs. It barely fazed him. Mary had taken out the last of the operatives, but she was wounded. Adam saw the blood on her arm, the way she struggled to stay on her feet. They had to end this. Now! He grabbed a metal pipe from the debris and swung. The enforcer caught it midair, twisting it out of his grip. He was about to strike when Mara fired one shot straight to the knee. The enforcer staggered, just long enough for Adam to land the final blow. The silence that followed was deafening. Adam exhaled, gripping Mara's shoulder. We need to go. They ran through the flames, through the wreckage. The drive was intact, but the war wasn't over. Drake had escaped. The real fight was still ahead. As they disappeared into the night, Adam knew, and this time he wasn't leaving any loose ends.